Welcome to The Standard. From Vancouver, I'm Peter Klein. Tonight, an exclusive and shocking interview you won't want to miss. The estranged son of controversial, gay-hating preacher Reverend Fred Phelps is here to tell his story for the first time on television. The Westboro Baptist Church in Topeka, Kansas, founded by the Reverend Fred Phelps, is probably the most controversial religious group in the United States. At the core of their religious doctrine is the belief that homosexuality has doomed the world to eternal damnation. In 2007, the BBC presented a documentary about the church and Reverend Phelps' family, entitled The Most Hated Family in America. Here's a clip.
I'm ashamed to be an American where the fags can freely roam. They spread their filth around this land, every pervert calls it home.
For several days I'd been living among the members of the Westboro Baptist Church,
Proclaim God's word today.
a fire and brimstone Christian group made up almost entirely of a single family.
God hates the USA. Welcome to our picket.
Since the Iraq War, they've become infamous for picketing the funerals of dead soldiers as a protest against an America that tolerates homosexuality.
Welcome back to Hannity and Combs. Members of the Westboro Baptist Church in Topeka, Kansas have been protesting.
America is doomed. God hates fags. Are you a homosexual? Are you or not?
Shirley Phelps taught each of her 11 kids not just hate homosexuals,
We're servants of the living God, hon. Where does it matter where we came from?
but that all homosexuals should die.
The Westboro Baptist Church is probably the most controversial church in America.
Hush up, and obey your God.
That was from the BBC documentary, The Most Hated Family in America. Unlike Shirley Phelps, the woman who was featured prominently in the clip you just saw, not all of Reverend Phelps' children have stayed with the church. Nate Phelps left the family decades ago and has become a vocal critic of the church, and he joins me now. Welcome, Nate.
Thank you.
Just judging from that clip, it seems like the family is trying desperately to get attention. It feels like a publicity stunt. Is that part of your father's motivation?
I think it is. I think that their primary goal, based on what I remember growing up there, is for them to reach as many people as possible, because they think that's their responsibility. Mm-hmm. It's part of that whole Calvinist ideology is that...
But it's not about saving others.
No.
And it's not about spreading the word of the gospel. What's the point of reaching people then?
Because Calvinism, at the heart of Calvinism is this absolute predestination idea that says that basically God's already decided who's going to hell and who's going to heaven. So you're left with this kind of uneasy anxiety about whether or not even you're elect, that group that's there. So to appease that, they're constantly searching the Bible to see what does God expect of us. Am I not doing something I should be doing something that I shouldn't, and adjusting their behavior. And one of those is this notion that the old man has carried with him his whole life as a pastor, that he's supposed to get that news out there.
Right. Well, he believes that he's one of the elected, right?
That's right. And he believes that
sort of chosen by God to be saved.
That's right. And through his own processing of what he believes the Bible teaches, and that Calvinist dogma, he believes that the only ones left on the entire earth are those that are in that small church in what he calls the place.
Right.
So it's narrowed it right down, and actually said that on that program, that Louis Thoreau program, that I think Louis hit him a couple times with that question, and finally he just said, "Yeah, that's what I think."